welcome back to another video. I'm Shah and this is Thoroughly Enjoyed Books. Today I'm bringing you a video that I have been thinking about for a little while, and by a little while I mean on Sunday I was sat on this sofa looking at my bookshelves and thinking how I wanted to read them all, and hoping that by appreciating them, admiring them, I would somehow absorb their stories without ever reading them. And it got me thinking about books that I've had on my TBR for longest. The shelves that I have behind me are only a very small percentage of the books I actually own. Most of my books are still back at my dad's house, stored under my bed. So I'm not 100% sure on what books are under the bed and what books are here. Whenever I go back, I have a little rummage, see what I'm interested in and bring them back. And that's kind of how I get through my TBR that's back there. However, here I do have some books that have been on my TBR for a really long time, and I thought I would show you what those books are. I have 8 books here to show you today and tell you a little bit about. This is the little stack, you might recognise some of them, and I'll just go through them. Well, if I can, tell you when I got them and why I've not read it yet, maybe. So I think this is the oldest book that I own that I have not read, and it is Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funke. I very vividly remember buying this when I was in primary school, which was 15 years ago at least. I think I was maybe in year 5 or year 6. So I was about 10 when I bought this book at a book fair in the primary school. You know when they had those little like portable bookshelves that they would drop in your school hall and you would go browse them? Book fairs were amazing, guys. I miss them so much. I wish they had book fairs at work. I remember picking this up because I thought the cover was amazing and I loved dragons at the time. I loved Middle Grade, but I never ever picked this up, and I'm not entirely sure why. I was just never, drawn to it. And I believe this is just about a boy who befriends a dragon and they go on adventures together. So that sounds amazing. 10-year-old me would have loved this. 12-year-old me would have loved this. 25-year-old me will still love this. But I've never read it. Why have I never read it? I'm pretty sure, like 95% sure, 99% sure that this is the book I've had the longest that I haven't read. Next we have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I have had this since I was 11, so 14 years. This was given to me by my nana, and I remember getting this book from her. She's written in it as well. My nana is one of those people who's written, "To Charlotte, lots of love, Nanny, enjoy." I had taken out a book from the school library, and my school library had a section where you were only allowed to take them out if you were a 6th former. And when I was in year 7, I had a friend who was in 6th form. I mean, thinking now, they probably weren't a friend, they were probably just looking out for me. But they took the book out of the library, and when I took it home, my nanny said, "You don't need to bother that, I've got a copy for you, here you go." So she gave me this when I was 11, and I still haven't read it, and I think I'm just daunted by classics. I know that Charlotte Bronte and Emily Bronte are different people, but I really didn't enjoy Wuthering Heights, even slightly. So I think I'm a little bit scared about this, and also despite being a literature student, I'm really not into classics. Then we have a book that I've had for 11 years, and that is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I picked this up after I read the Twilight series, and obviously when I was like 13, I loved Twilight. I thought it was amazing until I reread them, and I wanted to read everything Stephanie Meyer had written, and she had written this book, which is I believe about aliens, and the film stars Saoirse Ronan, who is my favourite actress of all time. But I've never seen the film because I've always said I want to read the book first, but I've never read the book in 11 years. It's just been sat on my bookshelf. This cover slightly terrifies me because eyes are terrifying, and the size of it also really scares me, and the font is tiny. I think I got this on a holiday to Stratford, which would have been when I was, 14. So I've had this for, again, a really long time and just never read it. I don't know if I will read this, to be honest. I obviously have problems with Stephanie Meyer. I don't know whether I should give this a go. Let me know. Next we have Birdsong by Sebastian Faulks. This is a war novel. I believe it's a romance novel between these 2 characters. So this obviously is a film, TV adaptation tie-in, which tells you how long I've had this. 2012. I've had this book for 8 years. I really love these 2 actresses. I've never seen the TV show again because I wanted to read the book and just never got around to it. And I think the main reason I've never read this is I'm not really into war fiction. Like, I don't like things about the war, so why I ever picked this up, I don't know. I've heard that this is beautiful, an amazing piece of literature, So I do want to read this one. This is actually quite high on my TBR, but it never quite gets high enough to be one that I pick up. And again, tiny font, huge book. Also 8 years old is The Submarine by Jo Dunthorne. This I picked up on a family holiday in Wales in 2012. I think it was this week, 8 years ago. I really wanted to read this because I wanted to watch the TV show at the time, or is it a film? I can't remember. It's one of the other, because this actor was in Tracy Beaker. Don't know if I would enjoy this now, because I think it's one of those quirky books that were like quite popular in the late 2000s, John Green type books, pretentious teenage boy kind of thing. So I don't know if I would enjoy this. I very vividly remember my friend Charlie from Charlie Reads reading this, and she enjoyed it. But again, 8 years is a long time. And then the last books that I am going to talk to you about are these books in the Confessions of Georgia Nicholson series. I have Startled by His Fairy Shorts, Love is a Many Trousered Thing, and Stop in the Name of Pants, which are the 7th, 8th and 9th books in this series. And this is where I stopped. I have these ones with me because I wanted to read them and finish the series, but I just never got to them. I think I maybe grew out of them. These came out when I was in my early teens, and I think the last one came out when I was maybe 15 or 16. And you know what I did? When the last book came out, I read the last page in the bookstore. I spoiled myself, and they ended how I wanted them to end. She ended up with the guy I wanted her to end up with. I won't tell you who. I just never finished reading the series, and I don't know why. But recently, Emma from Drinking by My Shelf did a read of the whole series in 24 hours, and I kind of want to have a weekend where I read the whole thing. Obviously, most of the series are at my dad's house, so I can't do that anytime soon. But I am thinking when I go back and get my old books, maybe I will read all of them. I don't know, but I just never continued them. So these are the books I've had on my TBR for the longest. Have you read any of these books? Let me know, because I really want to get to them all, which is why they're still on my TBR. But you'd think after 8 to 15 years, I'd have read these if I was that into them. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, I'll leave my links to my Twitter and my Goodreads and all that good stuff in the description box down below. Come and talk to me on there about books, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Take care. Bye.